Hello, Scorpio. So we're gonna see kind of what's going on with your in your energies, I should say. Currently, what situation is maybe more a little bit more prevalent, or what you need to know. These are general readings, so take what works and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But what was I gonna say? Sorry, guys. I just had some coffee and it's kind of soaking in. It's not fully soaked in yet, but it's working its way in there. So anyway, let's see what the cards have to say for you. Okay, first up, in what this reading is about, you have the Nine of Cups, and that's clarified by the Page of Wands. Then in your current energies, you have the Page of Pentacles reversed. Oh, the Page of Wands is reversed here as well, sorry. You have the Page of Pentacles reversed in your current energies, also clarified by the Queen of Pentacles reversed. What's coming in for you, you have the Eight of Pentacles and clarified by the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Your challenge regarding this situation is the Eight of Pentacles reversed, and that's clarified by the Magician. And what's recommended for you is the Ace of Swords reversed, clarified by the Queen of Swords. So this situation, whatever this is, this situation has something to do with some type of security or emotional fulfillment, some type of feeling that you're in a good place, So the Nine of Cups is all about, having that contentment. It's about being satisfied, even if it's just momentarily. Things are kind of going well, you're happy, you're at peace with certain things, or you just feel maybe you don't have everything, or not everything is perfect, but what's going on at the moment is satisfactory. It's it's up to standards. It's it's okay. So it's about that kind of feeling. But whatever this is that has to do with your happiness or your, I want to say security, but it may not necessarily be about security. It just might be about that kind of, really about like kind of being satisfied at the moment, or satisfied regarding a situation. The Page of Sticks reversed is indicating that I think whatever this is for you, you've been having a little bit of problems making it work. So the pages are messengers, so it could be kind of some kind of message, but I see them as, they're the students, so I see them as, when in life, we master something and then we have to become students again. So it's an ongoing process. Life is just one big learning. It's like, the way I see it is like an SAT test from hell, and it never ends. That's the way I see life. It's just one big test that continues. We're always being tested. We're always having to figure things out. We're always going back to school. Even if we are not going to a physical school, we're still in school, the school of life. But I think that whatever this is, something to do with your satisfaction, your contentment, your happiness, even feeling like emotionally stable or secure in something, it's been a little bit, all over the place, because the Page of Wands reversed, he's my little card, even the upright of my little ADD guy or ADHD kind of guy or person. But in the reverse, I feel like he has a lot of ideas, but he doesn't really know how to follow through with the correct actions to get them going, or he might feel overwhelmed, not really knowing exactly where to start, or starting kind of half-assed, or starting a little bit over here and then trying something else over here, but not really committing fully to one process or situation thoroughly enough. So I feel like whatever it has to do with some kind of satisfaction or kind of fulfillment with you at the moment, or what this is representing, you might be a little all over the place with it. You might not know entirely what you want. This could represent you're still trying to figure out what's going to make you happy. So you might be trying little things here and there regarding whatever this situation is, but you're not really sold yet on anything, and you're just still trying to figure it out. But honestly, that's life. But in your current energies regarding the situation, with the Page of Pentacles reversed, clarified by the Queen of Pentacles reversed, I kind of feel like, I really feel like you guys are, in a weird way, are trying to figure yourself out. Like, I definitely think you're in this, like, almost like this, I don't want to say trial and error stage of this situation, but the Page of Pentacles, he's another page. It could be some type of message about some financial situation or some kind of a monetary thing, but I really feel like you are trying to still figure out the practical aspects or details of whatever this I don't want to say your happiness, because I think that's not the correct way to phrase this, but whatever you're trying to achieve, I think you're trying to figure out still how to do that, you know? And the Queen of Pentacles, to me, I'm wondering if some of you are really focused on yourself at the moment. And I think that's probably a good thing, because I think this is very personal to you. Whatever this satisfaction, kind of contentment, happiness type of feeling is, I think it's obviously it's very individualistic to each of us. We have our own ideas of what makes us happy and everything. So I think you're really just trying to figure it out. But because the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, to me, she's kind of focusing more on her own. She's working on herself, I would see, you know, instead of, I don't want to say giving to others or trying to help other people out or supporting other people. I feel like you're kind of supporting yourself more, or you're trying to keep it not within, but you're really focusing a little bit more on yourself at the moment. But within that, you're still trying to figure this situation out. You're probably trying to figure out like maybe some of the financial aspects to something, or if you need further education, or even if it's a hobby or whatever it is, you might need to still be learning some of the details. But I think I don't want to say I feel like you might be a little overwhelmed, but I feel like to me, this feels like, it's almost like a ball of yarn, you know, like you have a ball of yarn or like something twisted. Like if you had one of those really fine, necklaces, those chains that were kind of long, and somehow, you know, it was in your jewelry box or whatever, and somehow all of a sudden you whip it out and it has all these knots in it, and you're like, how the hell did this thing get all these knots in it? But sometimes they're tricky to get unraveled. So I kind of feel like this is like almost like you feel a little bit tangled in this situation, and you're trying to, through your actions or even kind of learning different things or trying certain practical aspects or whatever, you're trying to unravel this mess. I don't think it's a mess, but I think you're just trying to figure out the right string to pull to actually make this, to actually achieve this level of, you know, the satisfaction or kind of peace in a way. So I think you're kind of in that trial and error stage currently. Sometimes I feel like the pages, it's kind of, I don't want to say frustrating energy, because you're figuring things out. Anytime you're learning something, you're going to screw something up, you know, that's life. But it's all about kind of figuring it out and kind of seeing how it is for you. So I think you're really figuring things out right now. I think you're definitely dedicated to that, but you're trying to really, I really feel like you're putting yourself first a little bit, which I think is really good, because I feel like whatever this is, whatever your kind of dreams or your happiness, happy place, obviously that's really, really important. And I think you might just be in a phase right now where you're trying to not only achieve it, but try to figure out how to get it in a way. Now, what's coming in for you, you have the Eight of Pentacles, and that's clarified by the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So the Eight of Pentacles is all about kind of just the continue working towards something, you know, the daily grind in a way, but you're perfecting it. So he's doing something over and over and over again to perfect it. And I feel like that's really positive, considering you have two of the pages in reverse. And as a student, because to me, this guy, he might have gained some mastery over the situation, but he's still learning. He's still trying to hone his skills and better the situation. So I feel like you have this energy of almost, I don't want to say repetition, but you're trying to get this situation, streamline it, figure it out, and have it more the way that you envision your Nine of Cups, you know, your happiness, your satisfaction. But I think with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, I think, see, the Ten of Pentacles is all about kind of really the end game. You know, this family, they worked very hard, but now they have the nice house. They have everything that they want. So I think you have that in mind, and I think that's really going with the Nine of Cups here, because this is about like emotional fulfillment, and this is about the Ten of Pentacles is about kind of actual like monetary fulfillment or financial fulfillment, but it's so much more than that. It's having kind of everything that you really want in a way. But I think you have that in mind, but I think that I wonder if some of you feel like it's so far off, because if it's in reverse, I think you have your end game or end goal in mind, but I think because with the page of energies here in reverse, it might just be something you're trying, and it might not be going fully 100% the way that you envisioned or want it to go. But I think you're dedicated to working that out. And I think regardless if you're stumbling upon some things or you're still trying to figure it out, I think having the end game in mind or the end goal is going to help you continue with it, because part of me feels that you might be having a little bit of roadblocks or it's not coming as easy. But this 10 of Pentacles, this didn't come easy for these people as well, at least in my mind, in my brain. It didn't come easy for them either, but they had to keep at it. So I think this is saying that regardless if you're going to be hitting up against like more roadblocks or shenanigans running out of like the gutters, chasing you down or something, you need to continue on, because unfortunately, life, there's always troubleshooting. That's what it is. One giant SAT test from hell. So you just have to continue to troubleshoot and continue to hone your skills and continue to focus on really the bigger things that you really want, your true happiness, you know? So I think it's positive, because I feel like you're being a little bit more like realistic, at least with this situation as well. Now, your challenge regarding this thing is the 8 of Pentacles in reverse and the Magician. Now, the 8 of Pentacles as your challenge in reverse is you might, I don't want to say you're dropping the ball, but I think you might be a little frustrated a little bit, because with the pages, you're still kind of learning. Maybe things aren't going as smoothly as you hoped. And even with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse here, I feel like, things are not quite going as flawlessly as they could in a perfect world. But I think your challenge is to continue on with this and continue to see things. If you do something one way and it's, maybe it's not the best, but maybe it's okay. Maybe if you can tweak it, I think your challenge is to continue to tweak something to see how it goes and test the results. Because with the Magician, he's like a showman. I see him as a very confident, but I see him as a troubleshooter as well. Like, he's trial and error. He knows he wants to put on a good show, but he knows sometimes the rabbit might not be not in the mood. It might not do what it's supposed to do. So, but you kind of have to think on your feet and you have to kind of roll with the punches. So to me, the Magician really rolls with the punches. He has everything he needs to create a good show or kind of create what he wants. But sometimes things, maybe the electricity goes out and he's on stage and he has to kind of like, still go with it. He has to go with the flow. So I think this is saying that you might have to go with the flow, even though if there's things that are not quite working right regarding the situation. I think there's a little bit of frustration. I feel like you might be getting stalled. You might be getting stuck here and there. But this is saying that even if you feel stuck, I think there's a way around. You just have to kind of be a little bit, on your feet, thinking on your feet, or a little bit like, I'm not saying quicker, but a little creative. Because the Magician to me also, I see him as somebody who's going to kind of create something. He's creating like this, whatever. He's going to mix all this or put all this stuff together in a certain kind of way. And he's a little bit creative. So I feel like you have to be a little bit not so fixed regarding this. Be a little creative. Keep your eye on the prize, the eye on the goal, and just keep at it. I really think that you just need to keep at it, even though it may be a little frustrating. But now, what's recommended for you with the Ace of Swords reverse and the Queen of Swords, I really think that if there is, I think with the Ace of Swords in reverse, if you are, you know what? I don't want to say you might be a little bit tunnel vision, but I feel like you might be, with all this energy, you might be a little bit blocked a little bit with the creative aspect, because you might be trying to do things that you thought were going to work and they're not. They're not quite working. And I wonder if this is saying that don't jumble too much in your mind, because with the Page of Wands reverse and the Page of Pentacles, I feel like this is a little bit, I don't want to say aimless energy, but even with the challenge of the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it's a little bit like, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's a little aimless. The Queen of Pentacles reverse also, I could see her as maybe not having such faith in herself as well. Because in the upright, she's very confident. She's very independent, but in the reverse, maybe I think she's focusing on herself and what she wants, but maybe she's feeling like she's failing at certain things. So I think these are aspects that you need to acknowledge. And if you feel like you mentally are a little all over the place, because I feel like with the Ace of Swords, you might be, I don't want to say rushing thoughts, but there might be, your brain might be a little bit, I don't want to say all over the place, or having a little bit negative thinking or something, or kind of getting down on yourself. I feel like this is recommended just to be aware of that and cut out what's not, what's not working. So the Queen of Swords, she sees things very clearly. She's like my no BS kind of woman. There's no BS with this one. She's not having it. Not today, not tomorrow, and not next year. She's just not having it. So I think you might need to, if you feel like a little aimless, a little stuck, a little like lack of ideas, or having too many ideas, or getting down on yourself, I think that you need to just cut that out and be very, very specific. I think she's here to say that you just have to focus on what was your Nine of Cups? What were you seeking? Because this is a situation that you're wanting because it's going to bring you fulfillment. And I think even though you're, a few stumbling blocks, but nothing ever comes easy. I think this is just saying that focus on and get very clear on what you want. I think you still need to try different things out, but if they're not working, don't get down on yourself. You're just, see it as like almost like an experimental phase. Like you're some mad scientist somewhere in a basement with your life and trying to figure out different things to make things work. And you're just, see it not so much as a personal failure, but see it as a like more of a, I don't say detached, but kind of being like, okay, well, I tried this out and yeah, I didn't really get the best results. So let me try it this way. Because sometimes if you can almost take a step away from that emotionally, you could see it a little bit more objectively and logically. And you might not be so, I don't want to say tied to the results, but you're almost seeing it as like a test run. So if something doesn't work, but it's like almost like an experiment for you to see the results, it might be a little easier to switch gears and make the decision to maybe try something in a different way or have a creative aspect of how to troubleshoot it. So, and I definitely think that's what's saying is to be aware of that and maybe just be a little bit more analytical of the results of this and not so like as taking it as a personal or emotional failure. Because I don't think it's you. I just think you're just figuring it out. Whatever this is, whatever you're doing that's going to bring you happiness, I definitely think you're in the stages with it where you're just kind of figuring it out. But let's see what else we get for the rest of the cards. Okay, so you got a few extra cards here, but first up we have 56, Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. Now, I really think that, I think you are trying to make your dreams real. Whatever this Nine of Cups, whatever this kind of personal vision or satisfaction for yourself, I definitely think you're working on it, and I think this is saying don't stop working on it, even though if you are hitting up against some a little bit obstacles. Because I definitely think that for some of you there is bumps in the road with this, but you know what? You are in the process of weaving your own web with this. You're creating your own vision, your own dreams, and it's like one step at a time. It's one process of a time. Nothing is just always point A to Z. There's always all the other points in between. So definitely focus on your dreams and keep that in mind of why, kind of what this represents for you. Now we have 10, Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. And I think this is saying that even if you're feeling a little creative blocks or if you're feeling like a little stuck, I think this is saying that it's going to be okay. I don't want to say get ahead of yourself, but don't feel like you're not going to achieve this, because I definitely think you will achieve this. I just think that sometimes when things are really good, they don't come easy, but within that process, you learn a lot and you kind of transform as a person as well. So I definitely think that you will be achieving your goal. It might not be right away, but I definitely think this is something that you're really, really working on and worth dedicating to. So then we have 5, Bat Spirit, a rebirth is assured. And I think this is going to actually help, I don't want to say transform you, but I think this is really, really, it's just positive. I just think whatever you're doing is you're really going after something that you want. And that's a transformative experience in itself. And then it's transformative once you achieve that. So now we have Golden Healer Quartz, open the door. And I think this is just saying just continue to, one step at a time, one day at a time, continue to try this. Don't stop. Don't like let little obstacles here and there continue. Like open the door to creativity, open the door to being able to see things in a different kind of way, or open the door to even being considering different type of ways to do something. And now we have boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure, issues. And I feel like this is going with the universe providing. I think you're going to wind up somehow getting what you need, but I think with this open the door, I'm really feeling like you just have to be receptive, because the Eight of Swords here in reverse could be indicating that you have to watch that you're not being closed off. You're not allowing yourself to think in different ways or consider different options. You have to be aware if you are shutting something down that actually could be good, or if you're letting your mind, kind of almost run away with you. So with the Queen of Swords clarifying that, I think this is saying that you just have to, everything that's coming at you right now, you have to see it in more of a logical way and consider the options with it. Consider all the aspects regarding it. Because I wonder if some of you are, because I feel like you might be a little frustrated with this. So I think some of you might be almost like blocking your intuition or your creative aspects. Because to me, the Eight of Pentacles, I see him as a very, I don't say intuitive kind of guy, because I don't think it's necessarily, I think there's all different kinds of intuition, but I think sometimes when we're working on something, certain things could just jump in our mind that help us out. So I think he's aware of the different aspects or considerations, or considering how to do something a different way, or different possibilities. Like he's open to that. So I definitely think that you need to be open to that, because you might receive like some kind of answer. Even if you are researching something, there might be something that just jumps in your head. Sometimes I'm doing something completely random and I'll see something online or whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what? That actually kind of solves the problem a little bit in maybe a roundabout way. But I feel like sometimes spirit or whoever, whatever you believe in, if you believe, like, I think they sometimes try to speak to us, and if we're feeling stuck, we'll have synchronicities to let us know, you're kind of on the right path. It might look like a mess right now, but you're doing what you need to do in a way. So I definitely think you need to just be open to other things, or receiving messages maybe in different ways that you haven't received them before. Even if it's just like all of a sudden you're taking a shower and something jumps in your head, I think you have to kind of allow your mind to be able to kind of be free a little bit and fluctuate, not so tunnel visioned, because I think that's when you get the best ideas. So you have wedding. This situation involves marriage. And I think that whatever the situation is, this is definitely something you're trying to commit to for the long haul. Like this could be a relationship. It could be whatever for you. But I think it's something that you're really putting the work in. It's not easy, but you're definitely doing it. Because I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, I think this is something that you want really for yourself. So I definitely think you're putting the work in, regardless if it's maybe not going quite the way you had planned. But I definitely think this is something that is going to really be like a long-term type of situation. And that you're going to get your kind of to the goal one day. Now, we have opportunities. A stranger is about to change your life. Exciting times and plenty of action, plus a special family reunion to looks likely. Now, I definitely feel that there's some type of opportunities, and I think that you just need to keep, like with the open the door, I just think that you need to kind of keep your opportunities, kind of stay aware of them, because there might be something really, like with the Ace of Swords reversed, you might not be seeing something that's coming through. And this would be saying that you need to just make sure you're reviewing and analyzing all the opportunities and kind of allowing them to come to you, or seeing an opportunity when it does arise. But be very clear that not everything that glitters is gold. So you might have to really determined if certain things are useful or not. But, and nucleus, the power within stars is the power within you. And this is saying that you have everything that you need. Like, you have the ability within yourself to do this, to, get this done, and shine bright like a star and have your moment, a shining light moment. Now we have chakra balance. All things work best in conjunction with all things. Okay, so let me think about this one. You know what? I guess this is just saying that whatever is flowing right is going to flow right. Things that don't flow right maybe are not meant for you, and you're going to know, because I think you having a little bit of the blocks. So yeah, I don't know. I got to think about this one. All things work best in conjunction with all things. I guess when you with the magician, maybe if you kind of blend certain things or put on a show, I guess. Not even putting on a show. I don't really know. I don't know what I think about this one. It's definitely a positive message, though. It's like kind of a optimistic kind of message. So just be optimistic. We'll take just be optimistic from that. Anyway, let your freak flag fly. Shakalaka. Om shakalaka. Okay, so this is just saying, I guess, don't be so serious all the time. There might be something that you just have to kind of, because I feel like this is a little bit frustrating here, figuring it out, in the trial and error kind of phases. So you might just have to be like, sometimes if something doesn't work, like, okay, whatever type of attitude with it. A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it isn't open. And I really feel like this is really going with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Like, you have to make sure that you're not missing certain opportunities or certain ideas that are going to come to you that's going to help you with this. So I think that you don't want to get so hyper tunnel visioned where you are not seeing something that's going to help unravel this ball of yarn here. And for your little affirmation card you have today, I am persistent. Today, nothing will stop me from accomplishing my goals. Nothing will stand in the way of my happiness. And I think this is beautiful because I definitely feel that, I think you've been trying, but I think sometimes you may be even at a moment where you're like, is this even worth doing? And I think this is saying, yes, it is worth doing. You just have to continue to follow your dream, continue to follow what you're trying to achieve, your happiness, your satisfaction, with life or whatever, and just don't give up. You just have to be persistent through some of the issues, some of the pain in the ass times. Now we have Bob Ross, and he says, we just show you how, but you make the decisions. When you have this much power, you have to make big decisions. And I really feel like this is saying that whatever this idea of what you want is for you, it's something that probably somebody has already achieved, and you see something, you're like, oh, that would make me so happy if I have that, or if I'm at that level or that stage or whatever it is. But what you don't see is all the details and the decisions and all the stuff that somebody had to go through to actually achieve that. So I think this is saying that you just have to be aware that it's hard work. It doesn't always happen easily and doesn't always come overnight, but you just don't be afraid to kind of make the decisions you need to make to continue on the path that's right for you. Like the Queen of Swords, she's not afraid to make those decisions. No. She's making those decisions. She knows what's best for her, and that's it. Like, so I think Bob Ross is saying that you have the power, and if you decide to continue striving for whatever this represents for you, that's the decision you're going to make. That's a big decision. But if you decide to, like, you don't want to put the extra effort in, then that's going to be another decision. So it's kind of like how you move forward with this is the way that this is going to transpire. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think this is saying that you just have to continue to decide to stick with this and just work on this to kind of get the desired results. Now, for your stress relief and self-care card, you have Heart Opener. Objective, enhancing your sense of love and compassion. Relax your mind and body. Breathe through your heart. Imagine as you inhale that your heart is opening up like a flower opens to the sun. Place your palms on your heart. Feel your heart beating. Surround yourself with energy of love, a beautiful shade of pink, and notice how that makes you feel. Keep opening up the energy as wide as you can. Send out a breath of love and compassion to everyone you are connected with. So that's beautiful, you know. Now for the spirit of the dish that shall be with you during this time, you have the spirit of the fallen, which is the spirit of the apple. Okay, for the dinner and a movie that's recommended for you right now, you have horror movies and barbecue food. For the energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have Sagittarius is here, and that's about like expansion and good fortune. And they're kind of a little bit like a freer sign. They're going to kind of do things a little bit their own way. You know, they're not so fixed on something. They're kind of that energy of like, you know, they're going to try something. If they like it, they're going to kind of continue on. But it's really about kind of getting out of a comfort zone. And then you have Scorpio here. And this is about kind of transformation and major changes. And to me, I see it also a little bit of soul searching, you know, seeing, I don't want to say the darker side of yourself, but something that you might be having to consider and see how, I guess, I don't know, how do I want to say it? Like, consider things that are big changes, how they will affect you. Almost like seeing, not into the future, but really consider all your options and your possibilities and really think about what is it that you want, you know, and how those changes will transform you and how you're going to need to make those changes. That's what I'm kind of jumping in my brain right now. This little devil guy here is Mercury, and he's about communication and thought processes. And then we have Venus, and this is all about love, money, and power of attraction. And you have two fifth houses, and this represents passion, love, success, and creativity. And you have number 6 here, the skull, which means that the special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Scorpio, will be the Mr. Predicto. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. We have A, O, L, A, K, U, W, 18153. And you have the clock here. And I think this is saying, I think it's saying that things take time, you know, and use your time wisely is kind of what I'm getting with this as well. But I think it's like it takes time. Something is going to kind of maybe take a little time, but I think you're aware of it. Or in time, you know, but I definitely think there's something with time that, with the learning process as well, like especially because you have the pages here, things do take time to figure out. But I think that's definitely saying that within time or whatever, it's going to, you're going to kind of get to where you need to go. And we have clarity, and I think this is definitely going with the Queen of Swords here because she's getting clarity on a situation. So there might be some type of clarity within this that you want to just be open to. And even sometimes you just have to really get clear on what it is you really want, you know, and figure out, okay, well, I want this. Well, how do you even get this? Okay, so now let's bring him over. Here he is. Think of those questions, Scorpios, and we shall ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate prediction device to ever run off of batteries. What is the answer to Scorpio's question?
Definitely not.
Okay, just in case you didn't hear him, he said definitely not. Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and those were the words he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.